Welcome to PetesGuide. This is Metric Monday. In my continuing series of determining the drill size for M6 fasteners, this week I'm looking at knife-threaded inserts for wood. And I've chosen to start with this brand, EZ-LOK, because they seem to have a decent range of both metric and inch sizes, and what I think might be the best installation tools. And they're definitely not the cheapest vendor that sells these devices, but this channel is not about the cheapest, it's about the best. So this kit comes with 6 M6 brass knife thread screw inserts, a drill bit, and an installation tool. And there's one thing that I find frustrating here. This drill bit, even though this is a metric M6 screw insert, the drill bit is in inches. It's 25/64 of an inch. Boy, that just really frustrates me because I'm trying to go 100% metric. I know it won't be possible, but this gets on my nerves. So let's see if we can do something about that. Let's get these up there out of the way. Let's get that there. If you do the math and convert 25/64 of an inch to millimeters, you get about 9.9. And I figured I'd straddle that with the two sizes that I have in my metric brad point drill bit set. These are 1 millimeter to 13 millimeters in half millimeter increments. So, but I need to put this aside for the moment because I need to show you. Probably need to do separate series on tool storage, but I pulled this out of my collection. I found this general metric drill bit holder in a small, funky neighborhood hardware store with probably 2 decades of dust on the blister pack. And I've never really used it. And I was going through my pile of accumulated items and trying to clean up something and came across this, and it's like, oh man, that's perfect for this next video. So I've put all of the drill bits for the sizes of fasteners that I've been testing so far. So 7.5 millimeters for the T-nuts, 11.5 for the jack nuts. I'm not sure, it might be 12, but we'll start with 11.5. I didn't want to put 2 in because I'm not sure. And then there's something else I did that needs 10 millimeters. I'm not sure what that is. It actually might be today's video. So we have, in order of size, largest to smallest, 10 millimeters, 25/64 of an inch, and then 9.5. So I've drilled those 3 holes here, as you can see. So we'll put these back in the, I'm going to do this tip down for a couple reasons, but there's 9.5, there's 10. I'll put this back in its case because I've used it already. And then we need to get out some tools. Drive handle, ratchet, maybe the slotted screwdriver bit. And if we use that, we'll need the square bit adapter. So starting off, there are actually 2 different types of installation tools that EZ-LOK sells. This is a threaded installer that can be used to install this insert either slot up or slot down. So if you have a preference on whether the slot shows or doesn't, you have that choice. I'm going to install it slot up, and I'm not sure if it's going to be best to start with the screwdriver handle. Yeah, that seems like it might be reasonable. This is one of the issues. I think I might get the other bit. So in backing it out to switch bits, I actually removed the... Okay, let's do this in a different order. We'll do this again because this is easier to get the threads to match. So I'm going to go backwards and then thread back into where I was and not unscrew it. And we'll switch to the ratchet drive. And we'll see how well this goes in. And that already looks like it's not the right size. And that's unsurprising to me. You can see, one, it's not going in straight, and two, you can see how much wood is being pushed up around it. Maybe you can't. Let's see if I can do something about that. Let's try the macro lens. And looks like my lighting is not good enough for this. Yep, okay, that experiment fails. We'll try this in a future video. So let's get one more bit. Not one more bit, one more insert. We'll try with the intended, the drill size that it came with. So, and then we'll just start straight off with the board flat on the table. Nope, that's not working. I really do need to start it with a traditional screwdriver shape. And let's try looking at it from two angles to make sure that I've got it straight. And then let's pull the driver out and switch to the ratchet. And now we should be able to get this in all the way. This feels better, but it still feels too tight. And yeah, the surface of that wood is splitting. And a few more turns. I've not used this tool before, so I'm not sure if it's going to stop automatically when the surface of the tool reaches the surface of the wood. Let's reverse that and then go out. And surprisingly, that effort was enough that this tool actually is a little bit warm to the touch. So this is a little better, but you can still see there's deformation of the wood. So let's try one more size here. And we'll start again with the regular screwdriver handle. Try this from two angles so that I have visual assurance that it's straight. And then switch to the ratchet for the leverage that's needed. Okay, well that feels a little easier, but I can still see the wood being pushed up on the surface. And let's try another turn there. And now let's pull the ratchet off. Yep, that's definitely warm again. Okay. Well, I need to get my lighting set up so I can use the macro lens, but that looks better. I think you can even see that even without the macro lens. That looks much better. But you can see there's an indent in the wood of the installation tool. And I'm not really sure this is going to have enough torque, but since I have the bit out, I might as well show you guys. First off, let's take another insert and show you that my effort to find the correct size screwdriver for M6 tools, M6 screws, actually happens to fit this perfectly. So I think that was effort well spent. I've used these inserts before, trying to install them with a slotted screwdriver for an amateur radio installation project, and boy, it was unpleasant. The screwdriver was the wrong size and it kept breaking the edges off. So I doubt this, based on that experience, I doubt this is going to have enough leverage. Certainly not with a small hole that's known to be too small. The biggest problem is getting it centered in the slot, since there are just two small slots. So, kind of, but I'm afraid to do any more because I think I might break the insert. So, I think that's as far as I'm going to go today, but I hope you come back next week where we'll try another M6 fastener and gradually increase the number of bits that I have in my M6 toolkit. Obviously, this won't fit in my pocket, so we're going to have to do something about a full-size toolkit to store this. This is PetesGuide, closing down.